Throughout history, being a professional athlete has resulted in several different outcomes, especially when it comes to finances. Many are forced to file for bankruptcy after their career ends because they are no longer able to keep up with their lavish lifestyle. Others are successfully able to downsize and sometimes enter into a different field to continue making money. And then there are the elite, business-minded individuals that can capitalize on their success, who eventually go on to become billionaires. When Roger Federer began playing professionally, he never could have guessed that he would eventually be joining one of the most elite groups in the world, the so-called Billionaire Athlete Club. Before his success, that only included a total of 5 people throughout history, with those being Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Floyd Mayweather, Ronaldo, and Messi. This hasn't been accomplished only through his skill on the court, however. His well-mannered charisma and business decisions have made a major role in contributing to his massive wealth, and therefore, it is important to discuss both when referencing his success. That is precisely what we'll be doing within this video. Federer has been on the Players' Council for several years, and every single year he has been responsible for raising prize money at Grand Slam tournaments. His press conferences are held in an impressive 4 languages, meaning he can communicate effectively with a larger portion of the player base. He is very dedicated to ensuring a good working partnership with his sponsors, going so far as to work with many of them even after the end of their contracts. And he has also invested in a large number of promising ventures, many of them unrelated to tennis. This has allowed him to expand his influence to other industries, making a name for himself in more ways than one. At the end of each calendar year, the Association of Tennis Professionals announces the prize money each player makes, with only one exception. Roger Federer has been in the top 10 earners every year for the past 20 years, a practically unmatched feat in athletic history. Having earned a total of almost $130 million throughout his career, he is settled firmly in second place behind Novak Djokovic because of the inflated prizes in the last few years. What's unusual in Federer's case is that his prize money is only a small portion of his total earnings. When looking at the list of highest paid athletes across all sports, Federer makes by far the highest amount of money from sponsorships. Over 90% of his earnings come from these endorsements, while no other athlete even comes close to that. Within second place is LeBron James, and he only makes 59% of his earnings from endorsements. Roger Federer was initially partnered with Nike, but the truth of the matter is that he wasn't being paid very well despite being the world's #1 tennis player for more than 300 weeks. Other stars, especially those from America like Andy Roddick, were being paid much better despite being ranked below him. Nike saw these American stars as better investments because America was a flashy market as compared to the Swiss market that Federer was a part of. At the time his contract came up for renewal, Federer was being paid around $10 million per year by Nike. And instead of renewing as everybody expected, he decided to look around to see if there were any better offers. What he found was an absolutely astounding offer from Japanese clothing brand Uniqlo. They were generally known for their casual lifestyle apparel rather than athletic wear, but were trying to break into the market and believed that Roger Federer would be the best possible ambassador for their product. This is shown by the fact that he was offered a $300 million deal for 10 years, and he didn't even have to be playing tennis to be paid. His deal with Nike stipulated that he would only be paid for the years he was actively playing, but Uniqlo would continue to pay him even if he retired. Considering this deal was made in 2018 and Federer has since retired, he still has more than 5 years of payments from Uniqlo despite no longer playing tennis. Federer actually went back to Nike after the offer was made and asked if they would match it, or even contribute just a little more to make it worth staying. Nike said that they wouldn't be matching or adding anything to their current offer, however. And because of that, Federer ended his contract with them in order to begin one with Uniqlo. Because Uniqlo was a fairly unknown brand at the time and didn't offer much athletic apparel, many experts believe that leaving Nike would irreparably damage Federer's image and therefore his career. Federer, however, saw an opportunity to work with them. He has gone on record saying, quote, "I thought it would be a wonderful step into new endeavors, an entrepreneurial stage, incorporating philanthropy, innovation, and new regions of the world." This showcased not only how he would be treating the rest of his time on the court, but also how he would make business decisions going forward for the sake of his brand and personal image as a whole. For a while after the end of his Nike contract, Federer had just been wearing Nike shoes without any deal in place, effectively giving them free promotion. Throughout this time, however, he was actively searching for a replacement because of the way Nike had treated him and their unwillingness to expand upon his contract. Federer had met with the founders of On, a Swiss shoe manufacturer, in 2017, a year before he decided to end his contract with Nike. He'd seen many Swiss runners using their products and decided that he wanted to see why they were so highly revered. Evidently, he liked what he saw. He believed so much in the quality of their shoes that he decided to enter into an equity deal with them, where he received 3% of the company for his promotion and wear of their shoes during tournaments rather than being paid in cash. At the time, this was not worth very much money, because On was a new company just getting onto its feet. With his guidance and promotion, however, the company ballooned massively, to the point where it's at its peak evaluation. Federer's 3% stake was worth a whopping $600 million. This single decision resulted in massive inflation of Federer's wealth, all because he thought critically about who he wanted to work with. In 2012, Federer told his longtime agent Tony Godsick, "You sell me well, but I sell myself better, so let's start a joint company." In saying this, he was illustrating that he wanted more creative freedom over how he was represented as an individual, and not just in relation to his athleticism or his brand deals. That company was eventually founded and named Teammate. Teammate was a player management firm designed to represent him as well as other players throughout the world. Once he retired, Federer shifted a massive portion of his time into recruiting for Teammate. His political moves are calculated and precise, which makes him the greatest fear of other player cooperation teams. His charisma and cunning, as well as his skill within the sport, have allowed him to poach players that have been interested in his competitors. And they now have happy homes within Teammate. Although Teammate has plenty of incredible talent working within its ranks, the players are not the most driving factor of its success. That factor would be the Laver Cup, which is a competition that has been around for roughly 5 years now. It is somewhat similar to the Ryder Cup in golf. It features a selection of players from across the world going up against the best players from Europe, in a sort of battle for world glory within the sport. They are normally held roughly 2 weeks after the US Open, with the location rotating between various host cities, alternating between European and non-European cities every year. Federer's Cup became such a success that it became an officially sanctioned ATP event in the year of 2019, despite having entirely different rules from the rest of the matches. It just showcases how influential his decisions have been throughout the years. There are incredibly lucrative entry and victory bonuses, which ensure that all of the players participating in the Cup act with the class and showmanship that Federer demands. All 5 of the Laver Cups that have been held have been massive media successes, which ensures that they'll continue being held in the future. In regards to Federer's life outside of tennis as a whole, he purchased a large mansion in Zurich back in 2018, where he is, his wife, and their 4 children live along with his parents, with a gorgeous view over the town's namesake lake, set on 1.5 acres of land. The 3-story property consists of 2 separate apartments, one for his family and one for his parents. He has often commented that family is very important to him, and that having his parents so close by has been wonderful for everyone involved. The mansion is said to host a swimming pool, a spa, a gym, and underground parking, with the interior having white walls, wooden floorboards, tall ceilings, and massive windows allowing lots of natural light. Not much else is actually known about the property, as Federer likes to keep his home life fairly private. Due to this, and out of respect for his decisions, we'll move back to discussing his financial prowess. Federer's long list of sponsorships doesn't only consist of Uniqlo, of course. He had partnerships for everything under the sun, including watches, cars, jewelry, and most other luxury things that high-end spenders could ask for. He works with several luxury brands who have provided him with the ability to live even more lavishly than he already was. For example, his Mercedes-Benz collaboration has resulted in him owning a large car collection, on top of the estimated $5 million a year that he earns from their collaboration. Federer is also one of the most well-known ambassadors for the most luxury watch brand in the world, Rolex. He wears a new hand-picked watch that matches every tournament he plays in, and it's often seen glinting in the sunlight as he lifts the trophy into the air. He does this purposefully, showcasing a great example of why Federer is so liked among companies. He knows how to appease them. Federer didn't do what several other athletes have done in the past, and take on all of the scholarships he could get his hands on. Instead, he chose to work specifically with the most expensive, most luxurious brands in the world, and crafted his image around that. These include companies like those aforementioned, as well as Lindt Chocolates, NetJets, Sunrise, Rimowa, Barilla, and several other top-of-the-line companies that cater to the highest-paid individuals in the world. He knows exactly what they are looking for and executes it while still retaining his classy composure, which is the desired feel for these luxury brands. He ensures that the companies he is working with get the visibility they are paying for, which has resulted in several decades of successful partnerships with businesses from across the globe. If he wasn't so consistent and well-mannered with those that he entered collaborations with, then he would never have grown to be so successful. The impact that Federer has had on the sports world and the rest of the world as a whole has been massive. Despite his numerous endeavors, he continued to paint himself as a quite conservative investor, not taking many risks and only truly devoting himself to what he believed in. Federer's time on the courts has ensured that he has developed a mindset dependent on critical thinking, creativity, and determination, which has followed him into his financial decisions and investments as well. This success has allowed him to join the most elite club of athletes in the world, and has denoted him as the first tennis billionaire. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and see our latest video.